Imagine waking up feeling genuinely lighter. Not, because your bank account suddenly exploded, but because that financial worry knot in your stomach has finally loosened. We're talking about that stress, right? The kind that's often silent, but messes with everything, your sleep, your relationships.
It's so common. You're definitely not alone if you feel that way. There was that APA study found, 72% of Americans stressed about money. And that was before all the recent economic craziness.
Exactly, 72%. It's huge.
It really is. And that's why today we're doing this deep dive, healthy budgeting, less financial stress, more peace of mind. That's the goal.
Yeah, what's our mission here?
We want to show you, really, that managing money isn't just about spreadsheets. It's not boring numbers. Our sources show it hits your mental health, your emotional state, even your physical health.
So we are giving you the shortcut, the key insights.
So, pretty much. The surprising facts, maybe a little humor, keep you hooked. It's about connecting money management to actual well-being.
That's crucial. Well-being, not just wealth. And like our sources point out, so many people get stuck in this kind of vicious cycle.
Oh, absolutely.
Financial problems hit, maybe a job loss or debt creeping up. And it's not just the bank balance that suffers.
No, it ripples out.
Think about it. Research shows it can lead to insomnia, weight changes, even depression. People with debt, twice as likely to suffer from depression. That's serious.
It is. And anxiety, relationship problems. Money is a top argument trigger for couples.
Right. It just adds fuel to the fire. And then there's the physical things, headaches, even heart issues.
It's a loop, a really draining one. And what our deep dive found is fascinating. It's not just about being bad with money.
What do you mean?
It's the sheer cognitive load. Financial stress literally eats up your brain power, makes rational decisions way harder.
So your brain's too busy worrying to figure things out.
Kind of, yeah. One study showed people under chronic financial stress actually performed worse on executive function tasks. Thinking, planning, it gets impaired. So when your mental health dips because of money stress, managing money gets even tougher. You might avoid bills or spend impulsively just to feel better for a second.
Avoidance or impulse buys. Yeah, I can see that. It's a downward spiral.
It truly is. But, and this is the important part, our sources show there are clear ways to break that cycle.
Okay, let's get into that. When we say budgeting, what pops into your head first? For a lot of people, it's negative, isn't it?
Definitely. Like a strict money diet, no fun allowed, deprivation.
Yeah, just telling yourself no all the time.
Right. And that view is often counterproductive. The real key, and financial wellness experts really stress this, is flipping that mindset.
Flipping it how?
Budgeting isn't deprivation. Think of it more like a lifestyle change. Empowerment. It's a tool.
A tool for freedom. That sounds better than a diet.
Exactly. Freedom to align your spending with what actually matters to you. When you see it like that, budgeting becomes, well, an act of self-care, really.
Okay, self-care through budgeting. I like that. But how does this actually reduce the anxiety, the stress? How does this reframe bring that peace of mind we're after?
It brings clarity. Simple as that. Most financial worry comes from fuzziness, right? From not really knowing.
You mean like trying to keep track in your head?
Yeah, that mental accounting, it's basically guessing, and it's rarely accurate. That's where vague worries breed.
Okay.
But when you see the actual numbers, black and white, the concrete facts about your money, it replaces those fuzzy worries. You get a sense of control, peace.
You're not guessing anymore.
Exactly. You're making informed choices, intentional decisions.
That clarity sounds good. But, sometimes those concrete facts, those numbers, aren't pretty. If someone's just starting, how do these foundational pillars you mentioned build control without just adding more anxiety?
That's a really good point. And it's why they're foundational. They build things up step by step, incrementally. There are 4 key pillars for effective planning. First up, know your income.
Okay, know your income. Seems basic.
It is, but you need to be thorough. Calculate all your monthly income, wages, sure, but also side hustles, maybe child support, any rental income, everything coming in.
So you get the full picture.
Right. The goal is just to see, does my current income actually support the lifestyle I want or the one I have? It's the starting line. Removes that first layer of guesswork.
Okay. Calculate all income. Then, inevitably, you hit the part that makes people nervous, looking at where it all goes. Pillar 2, track your expenses.
And you said it, every expense.
Every single one. Even the small stuff.
Especially the small stuff. You need to know the difference between fixed costs, rent, utilities, the predictable things, and variable costs. Groceries, entertainment, those impulse buys.
The daily coffee, the lunch out.
Exactly. They seem tiny, but man, they add up. It's like that death by 1,000 cuts for your budget. It's just about being aware, really aware, of where every dollar, every cent is going.
So how do you manage that tracking? Any rules of thumb?
Well, benchmarks can help you categorize. You've probably heard of the 50-30-20 rule.
Yeah, 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings debt.
Right. Or there's the 7-20-10 rule, 70% essentials, 20% saving investing, 10% debt, or maybe donations. Gives you a bit more wiggle room for the must-haves.
But these are just guidelines, yeah, not strict rules.
Absolutely. Flexible guidelines. The point isn't to beat yourself up, it's to understand your specific money flow.
Okay, makes sense. That leads us to pillar 3. And this one can feel really uncomfortable, but you have to assess your debts.
Yeah. This means listing it all out. Every single debt. Credit cards, student loans, personal loans, maybe overdue bills, everything.
Oof, that can be daunting.
It can. But awareness, honestly, it's the first step to empowerment. Seeing it all there lets you make a plan. You regain control. You move from this vague dread to a concrete problem you can actually tackle.
Right. From fuzzy worry to a solvable problem. And finally, pillar 4.
Finally, you create your strategy. This is where you look at everything. Income, expenses, debt, and figure out what to do. Where can you cut back?
Start with the easy stuff. Discretionary spending.
Usually, yeah, unused subscriptions, eating out less. Then you align your spending and saving with your actual goals. What are you trying to achieve? Retirement, emergency fund, paying off that high-interest card.
And what if cutting back isn't enough?
That's when our sources say you might need to explore boosting your income. A side hustle, maybe? What skills do you have that someone else might pay for? It's about looking at both sides, spending less, earning more, being proactive.
Okay, so we've got the foundations. Know income, track expenses, assess debt, create strategy. Now the practical stuff. How do we actually build and stick to a budget that gives us that peace of mind? What are the steps?
Okay, first step is crucial. Define your goals. What are you actually working towards?
Short-term and long-term.
Both. Short-term might be saving for a new laptop in 6 months. Long-term could be retiring at 60 with a certain amount saved. Goals give you direction, motivation. They answer the why. Why am I choosing not to buy this thing right now?
Because you have a bigger goal.
Got it.
Then what?
Then you choose your method and tools wisely. This is where people often trip up. They try a method that just doesn't fit their personality or life.
So find what works for you.
Exactly. There are loads of options. The best one is simply the one you'll actually stick with. Consistency is everything here.
Okay, what are some popular methods?
Well, there's zero-based budgeting. Heard of that?
Where every dollar has a job. Income minus expenses equals 0.
That's the one. You get paid, and you assign every single dollar a purpose: rent, food, savings, fund money. It's amazing for stopping impulse buys because there's literally no spare cash floating around.
But you should probably keep a tiny buffer, right? Not literally 0 in the bank.
Oh, absolutely. Good point. Keep maybe $100 to $300 cushion in checking just for tiny unexpected things. Don't leave yourself completely bare. Then there's the classic envelope system.
Cash and envelopes for different categories.
Yep. Groceries, entertainment, clothes. You put the cash in the envelope. When the cash is gone, it's gone for that period. Really helps curb overspending in specific areas. Very tactile.
And tools, apps, spreadsheets.
Loads of tools. Customizable spreadsheets are great if you like digging into the details. Mobile budgeting apps are super convenient. Automatic tracking alerts. Or, simple pen and paper, worksheets, money journals. Some people find writing it down physically really reinforces the commitment.
So the tool itself doesn't matter as much as using it.
Precisely. Our deep dive shows consistency with whatever method you choose is way more important than the method itself. Just find your fit and stick to it.
Okay, goal set, method chosen. Next,
you prioritize and allocate. Put money towards essentials first, always. Housing, utilities, minimum debt payments. Cover those non-negotiables.
Then savings and the wants.
Then savings, then discretionary spending, yeah. Now, if your income is irregular, which is common, right? Freelancers, gig workers.
Yeah, lots of people deal with that. What's the strategy there?
Critical strategy here. Budget based on your lowest estimated monthly income. Be conservative, then prioritize super strictly. If you do that, save, then cover your 4 walls.
4 walls.
Core concept. Food, utilities, shelter, transportation. The absolute basics to keep you safe and stable. Nail those down first.
Okay. Lowest income estimate, 4 walls first.
Then, other essentials, insurance, childcare, whatever applies, and only then the non-essentials. This ensures your basic needs are met even in the lean months. Huge stress reliever.
Great advice. But let's be real. We all slip up, make mistakes. Sometimes those mistakes push us right back into that stress cycle. What are the common budgeting traps? And how do we dodge them for more peace of mind?
Ah, yes, the pitfalls. There are 5 big ones that can really throw you off track. First, neglecting to track expenses.
We talked about tracking, but neglecting it is a pitfall.
Absolutely. People just stop, or they only track big things. They underestimate the little non-essential stuff, coffees, snacks, small online purchases. That lack of clarity, it breeds anxiety because you genuinely don't know where the money went.
That where did it all go?
Yeah.
Feeling at the end of the month. So the fix is just keep tracking.
Diligent, regular tracking, all of it. It feels tedious at first, maybe, but it quickly becomes empowering, not scary.
Okay. Pitfall number 2, and I think this one gets a lot of people, setting unrealistic goals. Why is aiming too high sometimes worse than aiming lower?
Because it leads straight to burnout and frustration. If you try to save like half your income when that's impossible, or paid off a huge debt in a year when it'll take 5, you feel defeated. You give up.
So what's the solution?
Set achievable goals. Goals that actually align with your income, your life. Break big goals down into smaller steps, little milestones. And this is key. Celebrate the small wins. Build momentum. Build confidence.
Celebrate progress.
Oh.
Nice.
Right.
Okay, next one. I know I've been guilty of this. Ignoring regular expenses.
Ah, the sneaky ones.
Yeah.
Annual insurance bills, car repairs, holidays, gifts. They don't happen every month, but they do happen.
And they can blow your budget sky high if you're not ready.
Totally, like a financial ambush. The solution is simple, but needs discipline. Set aside a little bit each month specifically for these things, a sinking fund. Anticipate them. It stops the sudden stress when they pop up, future-proofs your peace of mind.
Makes sense. Plan for the predictable unpredictables. What's next?
Failing to adjust your budget. Life happens, right? Job changes, medical stuff, unexpected costs. Things change.
So a budget isn't set in stone?
Absolutely not. A rigid budget breaks easily. It causes overwhelm when life throws a curveball, pushing you right back into anxiety.
So flexibility is key.
Paramount. Review your budget regularly. Adjust it when big things happen, or even just small shifts in income or expenses. A sustainable budget is adaptable. It works with your life, not against it. That adaptability equals peace of mind.
Okay, adaptability. And the last big pitfall. Sounds like a really important one.
It is probably the biggest single thing for stress reduction, not prioritizing emergency savings, neglecting that emergency fund.
The safety net.
Exactly. You need that cushion, ideally 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Without it, any setback, job loss, unexpected bill forces you onto credit cards, maybe high-interest loans. You become vulnerable.
And stress.
Hugely stressed. So gradually build that fund. Even small contributions add up. It's not just money, it's security. It protects you from debt spirals during tough times. That's real peace of mind, non-negotiable.
Okay, so we've covered the how-tos, the mindset shifts, the traps to avoid. Let's really hammer home the connection.
Huh.
How do these budgeting practices directly boost mental well-being? How do they break that cycle?
It's so direct. First, like we said, budgeting reduces anxiety. Clarity beats guesswork. Knowing you can cover necessities calms that background hum of worry, frees up mental energy.
And it builds confidence and self-esteem, right? Hitting those goals.
Aggressively. Even small wins, like sticking to your grocery budget for a week, give you a boost. That I did it feeling is powerful. It proves you can take control, and that confidence spills into other parts of life.
It's not just about saying no either. You mentioned joy.
Yes. Budgeting creates space for joy. It's not about cutting out everything fun. It's about being deliberate. You decide what's important, what brings you real fulfillment, travel, hobbies, that weekly coffee, and you make intentional room for it. You're saying yes to what truly matters.
I like that.
Yeah.
Being deliberate. You also use the term money mindfulness. How does that fit in?
Well, it promotes mindfulness generally, really paying attention to every cent. Being deliberate makes you aware of your why. Why are you spending? Is it boredom, stress, loneliness? That awareness helps you make healthier choices, address the root cause, not just the symptom.
And ultimately, all of this helps break the vicious cycle we started with.
Exactly. By actively managing your finances, you disrupt that downward spiral where money stress tanks your mental health, which makes money harder to manage, and so on. You grab the steering wheel back, you empower yourself.
That's powerful. Now, what if someone's listening and feels totally overwhelmed? What if the stress is just too much, or the spending habits feel out of control?
That's a really important point. It is absolutely okay to ask for help. It's a sign of strength, not weakness.
Who should they turn to?
Sometimes just talking to a trusted friend or family member helps. It relieves stress, gives perspective. You'd be surprised how many people understand or have faced similar struggles.
And professional help.
Definitely. Seeking guidance from, say, a financial counselor, a credit counselor, or even a licensed therapist is a smart move. They offer objective, non-judgmental advice. They can help with debt management, budget creation.
Or maybe deeper issues, like if spending is linked to mental health stuff.
Exactly. Things like problem gambling or compulsive spending tied to depression or anxiety. Professionals can help address those underlying issues that might be driving the financial difficulties. Find the right expert for your specific situation.
What about involving family?
Don't underestimate that. Financial issues often affect the whole household. Getting family involved, getting their support can make it a team effort towards shared goals. Makes the journey feel less lonely, much lighter.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway here is that budgeting isn't just about numbers on a page.
Not at all. It's a proactive, empowering way to manage your life, really. It's a journey. Yeah. Needs patience, discipline. Flexibility is huge.
But the payoff goes way beyond the bank account.
Oh, miles beyond. Gaining that clarity, that control, it directly reduces stress, builds confidence, cultivates real, genuine peace that touches everything. It's about building a better, calmer you.
So as everyone listening reflects on this deep dive, here's a final thought to chew on. If your current money situation, your current plan, isn't actually adding to your peace of mind, with one small step, just one mindful thing you can do starting today to align your money with your well-being.
Yeah, imagine that ripple effect. Financial peace, better sleep, calmer relationships, more joy. What does that freedom really feel like? And what are you willing to do starting now to get there?